Hey there, sixth graders. I just wanted to film this short video for you for English, just to talk about a couple of things to get you set up for what I want you to do do for the day, and just review what's going on. So we're in our compare and contrast essay unit. We're talking about the compare and contrast essays. You wrote your first draft of your compare and contrast essays on Tuesday and Wednesday. Hopefully last night, Wednesday by 11:30 p.m., you turned in your first draft of the compare and contrast essay. Now, when you're writing an essay, there's a couple steps that go into writing the essay. There's steps like planning, organizing. You've done those. There's steps like writing the first draft. You've done that. Now, there's about three more steps we're going to go through with your essay. We're going to revise it, we're going to proofread it, and we're going to share it with others. And we'll talk about how we're going to share it. I know you're thinking, well, that'll be difficult. We're supposed to social distance, but I've got a method, I've got a plan. Just hold tight and stay tuned for that. So today, though, we're going to work on the revising aspect. Now, normally when we would revise, if we were in school, you would be doing some collaboration with one another, helping one another revise. So I'm going to share with you this document I'm going to have you use to revise, talk about it, explain what I want you to do, and then I'm going to explain how I want you to go through the revising process. So I'm going to go ahead and share this document here. I'm going to screen share. So when you're looking here, you see this document that says compare and contrast essay revising, and this is on LMS for you. I'm not going to read this whole first page, but I'll give you the gist. It says, when Devin finished writing the rough draft of his essay, he shared it with his classmate Alex, and his classmate Alex read it and reviewed it or revised it. Revising is simply the process of just reviewing, going through, overlooking your essay, seeing if there's any errors, anything you want to change up, anything you want to switch up. So his friend revises it with him and for him. Revising, here's how it works. He goes through, so this is the example essay we have called Our Country's Eagles. He goes through and he makes marks to edit it. So you can scroll through, you can read through it, look at the different marks, that document's up there for you. But here's the big thing that I want you to focus on. This revising checklist is the big thing that I want you to focus on all the way at the bottom of the second page. It says, use the revising checklist to help you revise your essay. That's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to use this revising checklist and you're going to read through your essay again. See, the problem is with essays and papers, a lot of times we type out what we're saying, we don't read it. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to read your essay, literally read it in your head. I even recommend reading it out loud, reading it verbally, talking to yourself, saying it out loud, reading it out loud, because that'll help you catch things that don't make sense. An essay should be like if you were talking about the topic. So if you were saying it out loud, think to yourself, did that really make sense? Is that a composed thought that I would actually say and would get my point across? Here's what you're going to do for revising. You're going to use this checklist and go through your paper. There's 7 things here. I'll explain each of them briefly. First one, essay has a clear method of organization. Read through and look through your essay. See, does it have a way that makes sense? Does it have a method to how it's organized, how it's composed, how things come together? It's like a puzzle. Does the picture make sense, or the puzzle piece is still scattered? You can look and see, is it clear? Is it organized? Does it make sense? Number 2, has an introduction that leads into the main part of the essay. Again, you need to have that introduction paragraph. Paragraph telling me what topics are we talking about, what's going on, what are we comparing, contrasting. It should lead and build up to the rest of the essay. Number 3, the essay just gives just enough details about each subject, not too many, not too few. Details, details, details. Don't drown me in details, but don't give me too few. You're better off to give more than you are less. Some of you don't give enough detail, and in something like this, that's a problem. You need to give me your facts, give me your research. Tell me, if you're talking about Lincoln Logs and Legos, tell me about them. What did you learn? Compare, contrast them. Give me the details. I don't want you to fully just give me bland details, but show me what you're saying, show me what you're talking about, show me and guide me through your essay what's going on with these topics and subjects. Number 4, the essay has variety in sentence length. This is a big thing when writing. There should be some short sentences, some long, should be a variety in sentence length. Why? Well, that attracts our eyes as a reader. We get focused in on that. It helps mix it up, keep the variety. So you do want to have a variety in sentence length. That can be more important than you think. Essay uses compare and contrasting words. We talked about these earlier in the unit. You may have to go back and look at them different words, and I'll give you some of the examples here. Let me turn in my book so I give you the right information. Some comparing words would be also, both, like, similar, or similarly, in the same way. Contrasting words would be but, however, unlike, differs from, even though, on the other hand. So you should have some of those words in your essay. I should be able to see the use of comparing and contrasting words in your essay. Number 6, the essay uses precise descriptive language. Your language should be describing, again, details, describing, showing what's going on, and it should be specific. Your language should be having purpose. I don't want a bunch of fluff. I want language and specific words and sentences that are focused on your point, your topic. Don't go on, if you're talking about pandas versus polar bears, don't go on a long blurb about unicorns, because that has nothing to do with the essay. Don't just write words to fill it up, but also make sure that you have enough that it's detailed. It should be detailed, but not so much that it's just a bunch of fluff. So again, precise descriptive language. Number 7, essay has a conclusion that sums up the major points of the essay. So you should have your introduction, your 2 paragraphs in the middle, the body of the essay, in this case, a conclusion, wrapping it up, summarizing what you told me, what you taught me in this essay, wrap it all up, bring it together. That's the conclusion. It's summing up the major points in the overall arc of the essay. So again, conclusion to wrap it up. Here's what you're going to do. Today, you're going to work on revising your essay. If you would like, you can share it with a friend. That's completely up to you. If you use Google Drive or you want to send it to one of your buddies over email through 6th grade, I highly recommend, I'm not forcing you to, but I recommend getting a friend to read your paper, getting them to see, oh, okay, because sometimes what makes sense to us doesn't make sense to the other reader. So I recommend sending it to a friend and getting them to revise, look over it, see if it makes sense, whether it's a friend in our 6th grade class or another friend you know. But here's what you're going to do today for Thursday. You're going to revise your paper. Even if you don't send it to somebody else, I at least want you to revise it. I recommend you let somebody else take a look as well, but at least you need to revise it. How do you revise it? Read through this worksheet that I have up here on LMS, read the revision example of the example essay, then use this checklist. Go through your essay, check these things. If you can't check it, then change it. Make sure it has compare and contrasting words. Make sure it's descriptive. Make sure it's organized. Make sure it has an introduction and conclusion. Use the checklist. Go through your essay and check off those things, because when I grade, I'm going to be checking for this revising checklist too. Did you do these things? You don't need to turn in a checklist that has them checked off, but I'm going to be saying, okay, did you follow these things? Did you meet these things? You're not turning anything in today for English, because you're going to turn in your revised and proofread essay as your final draft. So today you're just revising it. Please do the revision today. That's going to help you do the proofreading on Friday so you can turn it in. And it is a final test grade, so you want to make sure it's revised. You want to go through. Again, I recommend you share it with somebody else. Let them take a look as well. That may help give you some insight, but you at least need to go through today on your own. Revise your essay. Use this checklist. Use this tool. Go through, revise it. Once you've got it revised, you can just save it and wait until we proofread on Friday for your final project. But revising is part of your grade, so make sure that you're doing that, revising your compare and contrast essay, that all is well, that you check these things out. And then, like I said, Friday we'll get to proofreading. Then after you proofread on Friday, you'll have your final draft. So I'm going to quit screen share. That's all from me. Again, big picture thing is revising today. You watch this video explaining some of those things, the documents there for you. Use that checklist, revise your essay, share it with a friend or a family member or whatever it may be to maybe get some help and insight. But do a good job with it. Friday we'll proofread. We'll turn it in as a final draft. But today I want you to focus on revising, really prepping and getting out the best of your essay and making sure it's the best job you could do. Awesome, guys. We'll keep up the great work. I'll let you get to it. Proud of all of you. I'm praying for all of you, and I'll talk to you all very soon.